Today we're looking at the new Stream Deck plugin functionality in Visibox 5. With the versions of Visibox prior to 5, we had Stream Deck functionality. However, we were talking directly to the Stream Deck and kind of routing around the Elgato software. Now with Visibox 5, we have a proper Elgato Stream Deck plugin that works alongside other Elgato Stream Deck plugins that you can find in the Stream Deck marketplace and other places. It works with the Stream Deck XL that we're using as our demo today, or a regular original Stream Deck like this one here, which has 15 buttons, the 6-button Stream Deck Mini, and basically any of the Stream Decks, the new ones with knobs. I think they came out with one that's like an XL with, anyways, they work also with multiple Stream Decks connected together. You can intersperse Visibox buttons along with other buttons representing other plugins and other functionality from other applications that you may have on your machine. And you can also connect multiple Stream Decks to the computer and spread out your Visibox functionality across them. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. So let me start by just pulling up the Stream Deck software first here. And you can see this is the default Stream Deck. We haven't got the Visibox plugin installed yet. You can see I've got the Stream Deck XL set up here, and this is just the default profile that has these colorful buttons. But if we go over back into Visibox, activate Visibox, and from the Visibox settings menu, we open the settings window, and it'll open by default to the audio tab, but we go down to the bottom of the devices tab, and there's an install Stream Deck button that we want to click. You can still run Visibox in the legacy mode if you're set up with that. It'll just use the built-in functionality. But if you want to use the Stream Deck plugin, just make sure you've got the Stream Deck plugin checked here, and then click Install Stream Deck Plugin, and it will bring this Elgato software to the front, ask you if you want to install the Visibox plugin. We do. Ask you if you want to install the profiles. We do. And now you've got this new Visibox section here with the new types of buttons that you can install. And we've also got some profiles that have been installed automatically. And you can just select the Visibox plugin and it will just work. And it works basically a lot like the Visibox functionality worked previously. So if you're using the Stream Deck along with Visibox before we had the plugin, this will give you the functionality that you've been familiar with. Back over in Visibox, though, there is, it's kind of hidden here. Where did it go? A dialogue, there it is, that is asking you if you want to allow the Stream Deck to connect. You need to select that to basically grant the permission for the Stream Deck to be able to talk to Visibox. And then you can see that on the Stream Deck, we can hit the down button and the up button to decrement and increment our songs. And then left and right will select each of the clips. And you can iterate through the clips with that, and stop will stop. And that's how Visibox worked previously. You can also see that we've got the previews on the buttons here to show you what the clips are, which is nice, because there's always that fear when you're triggering something that you're not going to trigger exactly the right thing that you want to trigger. And it works for all types of clips. Including image clips, and here's some visualizer clips, and the camera clip, which is right here, which actually has a little picture of me from, I think, this camera over here. It's not the camera I'm talking to right now, but it's a picture of me. Let's see. And it updates every 5 seconds or whatever it is, but gives you a little preview of the camera. Color clips show up in colors, so on and so forth. Let me walk you through. Let me put Visibox on a colorful selection, and obviously we've only got a finite number of clips here showing, but you can show as many as 27 clips in the current setup, and trigger them here. These won't do anything, but the clips will. And we've got fades set up so that the old ones stay showing as playing until the fade finishes. But let me show you the Elgato software. We'll bring that back to the front, and I'll kind of walk you through the different clip options that we have for the different clip types. So we have these button types in the Elgato software. Trigger clip is what most of these are already, and you can just add a trigger clip by dragging it in like that. We'll replace the current one. It's already a trigger clip button, but I'll do this to kind of set it to the default settings so we can kind of look through what it does together. You can set a title for it. I suggest that you don't, though, because Visibox will pull in the title of that clip, the name of that clip, which is usually just the name of the media that it's playing. If it's a video or an image or a visualizer, it'll pull in the name of that video or image or visualizer. But you can choose which clip number you want to play within the current active song. This one was set up to clip 27. I'll set it back to clip 27 again. You can choose an offset, which means your song offset normally is 0, which means the current active song. However, if you set this to a negative number, -1, for example, it will then show you the clips in the previous, the song previous to the currently active song, which means that you can kind of show all the clips in the current song in one row, and then let's just say the row above shows this clips from the previous song, and then the row below shows clips from the next song by setting the song offset to 1. As soon as you click on one of the clips in the song that's not active, it will update the whole Stream Deck, though, and you'll continue to see the currently active song as that row that you've chosen as the currently active song. You can choose whether to show the clip thumbnail or not. Again, I suggest that you do. And then you can say whether you want to show an icon. It just shows this icon when it's empty, or show it blank. I suggest that you leave it blank. You've also got down below here some helpful info that explains all the stuff that I just explained to you. And basically all of these buttons work that way. They've got info, and they're basically self-explaining. Also, as with all Stream Deck plugins, you can set your own icon for certain buttons. You can either set it from a file, create a new one, or open the icon library if you have a library of icons that you already want to use. We also have a select song button. With this one, again, you can set the title of it. This one, it might be more helpful, but I think that there are also some default titles. This allows you to select a specific song. So if you wanted to, let's say you had, 10 songs in your set and you wanted to be able to jump to them randomly, you could set a Stream Deck up with 10 buttons that each represents a song that you can jump to right away. You can also send a program identifier when you configure the song, so it would automatically start a specific clip. Or no, the program identifier is the program ID of the song. So basically, program identifier here I've got a song, and you can choose which program ID that you want for that song, and you could send that instead. So you can send either the song number. You probably want to only set one of these: the song number, the program identifier, the song ID, which is a internal thing that most people won't use, and whether you want to stop the current playback of the current clip when you select a song. Again, all of that is explained perhaps better than I just explained it right here, right now, right here down below. Continuing through the playback control. This kind of echoes a lot of the buttons at the top of the Visibox controller interface. And you can either have a button for play, pause, stop, resume, play, stop, toggle, or pause, resume, toggle. And so you could see that that's basically these. I've got a, if I hit play here, it will play the first clip of the currently active song. So if I hit the play button, we get the first clip of the currently active song. We happen to have a stop button already set up here, and so I will just stop now. We've been stopping all along, and that's just the stop button here. Again, relatively self-explanatory. Navigation, we've got some navigation buttons already set up here, but I'll go through them here. Next clip, we can see this is previous clip, which will select the previous clip to the current one. Next clip to the next clip to the current one, if there is one playing. Next clip, previous clip, next song, previous song. And those are the up and down. We have all of them showing here right now on the Stream Deck screen. Output level. We've got a kind of better output level function coming soon, but right now this just allows you to enter a level. So if you wanted to have, I don't know, muted, medium level, and high level, you could set up buttons for those, but we've got increment buttons coming for the audio level soon enough. And then system control is actually a helpful one to have. There are a couple of little things that we allow you to do that are sort of system level. One is the panic button, which basically just reloads all the windows and kind of sets them back. If you hit some sort of a problem during your set and just kind of need to do the equivalent of restarting Visibox, you can hit the panic button, and that will kind of do an initial reset of your windows. And it's a good stopgap control. The other one here is full screen toggle, which is super handy and will allow you to switch Visibox into full screen or out of full screen if it's already in full screen. Again, all this information in the info here. We've got more functionality coming down the road for this. And of course, if it doesn't do anything that you would like it to do, please send us an email. You can find the contact form on our website or within Visibox if you're already using Visibox, and we're happy to answer your questions about this or anything. Yeah, the Stream Deck's a really great way to control Visibox. It gives you nice colorful buttons here, great feedback, and it's just a nice way to go. I should also mention the Stream Deck Pluses have knobs on them, and in particular that output level works really well with the knobs, and we've got other functionality that we're thinking about down the road to make Visibox work even better with the Stream Deck in the future. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. Happy triggering, and we'll see you next time.